let you guys know what's happening with my mental health and all of that jazz. Hi my pretties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just gonna do pretty much just a simple blog, just let you guys know what's happening with my mental health and all of that jazz. But yeah, hold on, it is kind of itchy. But okay, so as I said last week, I would be speaking with the therapist. I did. It was just kind of like an intake, kind of just getting my basic information and medical history with my mental health. So yeah, and then also we made a safety plan and figure out what was triggering me to have suicidal thoughts, self-harming, as well as trying to end my life 2 weeks ago. And I realized most of it relates to rejection, my dating life or lack thereof, me becoming self-critical and overthinking what I can do to distract myself when those thoughts come. Um, writing, my fan fiction slash fiction, watching maybe like an old show or old movie, like a comfort show or movie, or maybe watch something new, or kind of just maybe read a book or listen to some music. Who who I can contact when I do have those thoughts. Well, my older sister and older brother and my mom in case that happens. And then what I can do to make sure my environment is safe. So I had my mom I took my scissors, any medication I had, and even my nail clippers, and gave them to my mom. And then also if I am at any place, just let them know to keep all their sharp, dangerous objects away from me in case I get those urges. So yeah, and then yesterday, Tuesday, I had a talk with a psychiatrist to see if I need to be put on medication for my anxiety, which I do. And then also she had me also prescribe me for medication for my depression, even though it's situational. But I still have like, even like some days I don't even want to get out of bed, even go to work. But yeah, and then she might think I have borderline personality disorder because I was telling her with my relationship with people, I just tend to check out of relationships, or I kind of self-sabotage it by being a little too honest about myself and kind of pushing everyone away. That and having a fear of abandonment. So yeah, so she just told me to do just kind of some research, see if any of the symptoms kind of my fit me. I want to say some of those symptoms for borderline personality disorder kind of fits me, because I do tend to get easily irritated. Definitely, yeah, easily irritated. I tend to like check out of relationships pretty quickly. So yeah, so I now have another appointment with her in 4 weeks. So she just wants to like check up on me, see if the medication's working, as well as see if I do fit, check the box for borderline personality disorder. And then I also do have my therapist appointment on the 3rd. And we're just going to be going unless she got all of my information from my visit last Monday, we would have to do a part two on the intake. If not, we kind of just start figuring out what I can do, just kind of going to the next step with my mental health, as well as I now have another appointment scheduled on the 2nd with another psychiatrist, kind of just going over everything that was spoke about. But yeah, I would say compared to 2 weeks ago, I'm feeling a lot better. Just, but I say better. I don't know if I would say completely better, but I'm to the point where I don't want to hurt myself. And then I decided, well, since really like last week, decided probably best for me to take a break from Tinder and Bumble, trying to find a relationship, because that's what's causing my suicidal ideation, my anxiety, and the adjusted disorder with depressed mood or situational depression. So yeah, so I decided I'm just gonna take a break, but I'm gonna probably be honest with you guys. I'm slightly worried that I might be pregnant, because the guy the guy went on the date with, we did have sex. He said he was sterile, so I was like, well, I'm on birth control. There's no really point of a condom. Stupid, I know. So now I'm a tiny bit worried, even though they did take my blood, did the blood test for the pregnancy test, but I had this weird feeling like it felt like it felt like it was too early for them to even detect if I was pregnant or not. So I did a tiny bit of research, and it's possible to have a false negative with the blood test if it's taken too early to detect any pregnancy hormones. It says the earliest you should do is like a week after conception, and it was literally just 4 days after. So yeah, so I'm a bit worried. I mean, like, if I am pregnant, I obviously am going to tell him. Like, I just feel like that's the right thing to do. And and then we figure out what we are going to do. But if I'm not pregnant, I'm just moving on with my life and just focus on my mental health for sure. Because that's the main thing right now, is just really feel like I'll be in a better place before I ever get into it. Before I ever get back into, sorry, my eye. Ever get back into like going out or going out with a guy. Ooh, my eye. Oh, sorry. Slightly itchy. But yeah. But I'm like, weird thing is, one part of me is like kind of hoping. I don't know. Like, some people, they say, you know how some people, like, they're like shitty people, but like once they get pregnant, they kind of like change as a person and actually be a kind human being and more mature. I don't know. Like, I feel like that might happen with me, but then I'm also terrified because like I'm already dealing with, sorry, window open, but I'm already dealing with a lot of stuff with my own mental health, and then putting my physical health at risk of being pregnant. And then I know most women, they get postpartum depression after having a baby. It's just like, do I really want to go through that? I'm already dealing with suicidal ideation, my anxiety, and then with my situational depression, which is going to probably most likely be triggered by the postpartum depression. I just don't know. It's just like going back and forth. Like, you know, like you have like this feeling something's not right with your body, but you can't tell. It's just like that nagging feeling for me. Like, I just know something's not right. because there's like moments at night I'm like thinking like, am I going over like, well, he said this, I'm on birth control, I should like I should be fine. Like that even like last week I did some research on my birth control, and it's pretty unlikely to get pregnant unless you're not taking the birth control on time. So I'm on Depo, so you're supposed to get that every 3 months. There's like a little bit of like a window because some things happens in life, but for me I did not take my birth control until February because I stopped taking it because I was supposed to actually get my round in August, but never came around to it. And by December, I had a period, and for some reason, January, no period, and then went back on birth control at the beginning of February. So I'm supposed to be getting that next round by May, like next week. But my thing is, I go to Planned Parenthood, and they usually kind of ask, like, when's the last time you had sex? And then they ask, like, did you use protection, like condoms? And then they have you pee in a cup so they can test to see if you may be pregnant. And that's what I'm fearing is when I do that, and then they come and be like, oh, yeah, you're pregnant. That's what I'm terrified to hear. I just can't explain it. Like one part of me be like, I don't know, be kind of I don't know, kind of be maybe exciting or and stuff to be pregnant, and then another part of me is like, do I really want to be pregnant? I can barely take care of myself, let alone plants that I had like in the corner over here by my window. I literally forgot to water them. And, and, and then you want me to have a baby? Definitely in this society? I don't think so. So, no. Hold on. Somebody's trying to call me, and I don't... Sorry about that. So, I was trying to, like, decline the call when it was in the banner, but it pulled it up and just stopped the video. So, yeah. But I've been getting, like, random calls from people from Texas, and I'm like... I feel like at this point, I'm not answering and be like, take me off your fucking list. Because I'm like, I don't even live in Texas. I have not lived in Texas for 4 years. But yeah, I'm just like, one part of me would be like, I don't know, I kind of want to have a baby, but another part would be like, fuck no, I don't want to, not right now, because I can barely afford to feed myself, let alone feed a whole nother human being. But I'm like, I'll be like, well, one part of me, well, it might help me mature faster because it'll give me responsibilities to actually budget and do everything I can to make sure that baby is alive. And another part of me is like, I'm only 24. I turned 25 in like a little over 3 months. I don't think I'm mentally there, and then also still working with my own mental health, and then throw this curveball at me. I don't know about that. But yeah, I think honestly, I think I'm just going to probably schedule that appointment as soon as possible. So probably like maybe even like Monday next week. Get it out the way and just get, if I'm pregnant, tell them. We'll figure out from there. If I'm not, get my next round of Depo and just focus on my own mental health until then. But I'll tell you this, like, I will be absolutely panicking if I am pregnant. Because I'm like, I never, ever ever raised a child before. Like, I've never changed any of my di- any of my what's the word, nibblings diapers before. I never properly babysat. Like, there's always been somebody else. Like, but I'm just like, I don't know. And I'm like, and then I don't want to have to deal with working on my mental health and then having to raise a whole child too. And I know that I'm not completely sure, but I did hear that some, if not all, some mental health disorders are genetic, and I do not want to pass that down. Because there's already enough craziness for me. I don't want to do that to a child. But yeah. But honest God, I'm scared. It's just, I don't know. It's just like, I really don't know how I would be as a mother. But for right now, I'm just gonna probably just push those thoughts out of my head. If I'm pregnant, I'm pregnant. I'll tell him. We'll figure it out from there. If I'm not, just continue on my journey of healing. Because, like, I think, what was I saying? Like, even today, I called Empath to get a doctor's note letting, so that way I can be able to return work. Because I'm thinking of trying to return work by either next Thursday or next Friday. And going from there, because let's be honest, I need to get back to work. Like, it was all fun to be at home and just kind of get myself together, focus on things to detract myself from those thoughts. So, like writing, watching Sailor Moon, watching some new K dramas on Netflix, and then also watching WWE to distract myself. But yeah, and probably going back on topic, but for some reason, one part of me wants to thank the guy who kind of told me I was immature, which pretty much spiraled me, which was a downward spiral for my health. Because without that, I would have not been properly diagnosed, and then going into the right direction with my mental health and with getting doing the right things for my mental health. Because if he had not, I would have still been pretending like, oh, I'm fine, I'm not crazy, there's nothing wrong with me, like I'm okay, and not even saying anything about my, like, the suicidal ideation, like how I've always been having those thoughts since middle school. But I'm like, that would be kind of weird, and I don't want to make him feel like it was his fault that I decided to it was his fault that I decided to do an attempt on ending my own life. But in a crazy way, without him saying that, I would have still said I was mentally fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with me. I wouldn't have been properly diagnosed with with my anxiety, situational depression, as well as my suicidal ideation, and most likely borderline personality disorder. But then back again, I don't want to make him feel guilty or like guilty in some way, because it's not his fault. I just I just have some demons I need to work out. But in a crazy way, without him, I wouldn't be working on these problems that I've been having for years and pretending that everything was fine. So yeah. So honestly, I'm kind of nervous, but yet excited to start this journey on my mental health. Because by either, I want to say tomorrow or Friday, maybe even Saturday, I'm going to go to my closest Walgreens to get my medication for my anxiety and depression. So yeah, the psychiatrist, she kind of like prescribed me for like the lowest level since I'm new to taking medication for my mental health. So she's like, we'll give you like the lowest dose so that way see if that might help or if you need to amp up the dose. Like she said to first try half a tablet for both medications and see if that works. If it does, continue with half a tablet up until like a couple of days or a week or like about like a month or so. If I don't feel any different with the half tablet, take the other half. So yeah. So I'm like nervous and excited. For me, it's like I don't want to try to make it be like, oh, it's a badge, I'm crazy. No, it just gives me a reason, kind of gives me not a reason, but an understanding on why I do the things I do to myself as well as to relationship with other people. Cause yeah, cause honestly, before getting properly diagnosed with those mental illnesses, I would have told you that I'm not crazy or everything's pretty much fine. Like, again, I would just pretty much be saying, like, everything's okay, everything's fine, nothing's going on at home, or anything like that. But it was just that text just did have me going downhill with my health, with my mental health. Because I was now thinking maybe I'm starting kind of mentally beating myself up and just having these thoughts. But like in a way, without him I still would have been thinking I was fine. When in reality I am not. And I'm now getting the help I need. So, and then I'm also kind of looking into getting a pet, like either like a cat. I might even look at getting a small dog again, cause I feel like having a pet again kind of give me a sense of purpose, and it gives me a reason. Like this animal's now dependent on me. I can't just call it quits on life like that. So yeah, but I'm just kind of happy that now now I know what's kind of going on with my health, and I'm taking proper steps into making sure that I don't let my mental issues affect me in my everyday life, at work, with my family, and just again all around in general. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying your day, afternoon, or evening. Until then, bye guys.